Welcome to Logistics Business Conversations, where we talk with key spokespeople in the logistics industry about topical issues. Hosted by Peter MacLeod, editor of Logistics Business Magazine.
It's my great pleasure to introduce to you today Stephen Grundy, who is Agilon Business Development Manager for Konecranes. Hi, Stephen. Welcome to Logistics Business Conversations.
Hello to you too. Glad to be here.
It's great to have you here. Now, I think of Konecranes, I think of big boys' toys. It's fabulous, big old container handlers, that kind of thing. We're not talking about those today. What are we talking about, Stephen?
Yes, the parent business for Konecranes, obviously the primary business line is big crane products, but then Konecranes in recent years has also developed a specific automation business line. So this involves the Agilon product and then the other sister business, which is TBA, which looks after WMS. So Agilon as a specific product is focusing on ASRS systems, medium to small package retrieval through designated access point.
And your area of speciality is the warehouse automation side.
Yeah, absolutely. So we deal with anything inside the warehouse, obviously the customer needs.
Where does this fit into the Konecranes offering? You know, what are the values that customers can benefit from?
Multiple benefits, really. So we see savings in time, efficiency, money, inventory going missing.
Specifically Konecranes, you know, it's a strong brand. It's a well-known brand. You're known for ruggedness, known for durability. You're known for, you know, being a strong industry partner. Are these the sort of values that you carry across into the warehouses?
1,000,000%, yeah. So obviously our product, very durable, very, very robust. All of the service connectivity is managed fully remotely, the 24-hour availability. So if there's any issues, then we can get straight onto these issues, obviously, and fix them immediately. So a crucial aspect to minimise downtime for the customer.
Tell us a little bit more about the development and manufacture of the Agilon product. Where's it made?
So the product is made in Finland. All of the R&D facility is in Finland as well. But then obviously we cover majority of countries in Europe. So where we're doing countries, the unit is manufactured and shipped over, and then we have direct service coverage and installation coverage in those respective countries once the unit arrives. Our R&D department have been really, really busy in the background, developing some additional functionality that really gives us kind of a complete solution now and sets us apart from the competition. So we've got a new pick-to-light system, which connects to the actual system. So when a customer's picking an order, a final order, a little table will flash when that relevant component is required in that box. So key benefits, maximising efficiency and crucially minimising operator error. So obviously making it more efficient. Then we've got our new auto load trolley. So rather than loading the package individually through the access point, we now have a full-scale trolley that you can push into the unit manually, or you can load with an AMR robot on the bottom. So we can stack this maybe 6 or 7 shelves high with multiple packages. So we can feed potentially 20, 30 packages into the system at one time. Again, reducing operator time, filling the unit and increasing efficiency. And then the final development is an in-feed, out-feed conveyor, which can connect to the broader warehouse process. And this crucially has a light curtain, obviously entering the system, and a barcode reader, so it'll automatically detect the package when it goes in. And we can, again, feed in through a more automatic route than rather than feeding by a manual operator. So these 3 or 4 new components, we anticipate or we know will add real strategic value to the unit and generate that more complete solution. So we feel that really starts to set us further apart from the competition now. And the feedback that we had at the exhibition, people really excited about these new features, just gives us the confidence that we're going in the right direction. And I'll just say, yeah, we're doing the right things.
We're referencing the IMH solution. What sort of conversations were you having with customers there? And you know, what were they coming to you? What were they looking for?
A variety of things, really. So I think when people look at the unit, there's an initial aspect to feel, because it's quite a complex product, access control, either via fingertip or PIN code, then it's complete accurate balance control. You get automatic inventory, fully automated. We've got predetermined picking lists, parallel picking and stuff like that. So once we explain all of these features in detail, it starts to build that picture more completely, and we're just adding a little bit more pieces to the puzzle. And once they understand the full solution, particularly we're having a fully functioning unit here, then it starts to crystallise in their mind, and they can begin to anticipate and perceive how they would use this in their environment, particularly what kind of pain points they're looking for it to do. So if they've got a lot of small parts that is taking up a lot of room on external racking, then they could potentially remove all the racking, put all the components into Agilon. If they've got inventory going missing because it is complete traceability and accurate control, they can solve that. If they've got cost savings. So yeah, we'll explain the full functionality, and then we will then align and tap into their specific needs. And obviously we'll join the conversation.
And so what sort of vertical markets would be interested in having a conversation with you about Agilon?
Well, this is a common question that I love to get. What does a stereotypical Agilon customer look like? And I said, I don't really want to answer that question, and I never perceive it in that way because I don't want to be pigeonholing us to a specific industry, vertical, or sector. So my response is often ubiquitous. Anybody with any kind of inventory, any kind of spare parts, any kind of small parts or medium thing, then obviously they can look to take the system. So to reinforce that, we're really strong in multiple verticals. So really strong in automotive, pharmaceutical, and food and drink, manufacturing, production. So for us, the only key constraints is the maximum weight for the package and the maximum dimensions of the boxes. And if they're within the customer's parameters, then we can push into all sectors. So I think pigeonholing ourselves to a preferred or swingy sectors is selling us a bit short.
So for the record, what are those dimensions?
So the max box weight was 25 kilos, and then the dimensions are 600 by 400 by 450.
The way that you describe that, it sounds like it's, as you say, manufacturers, spare parts, those kind of things would be absolutely sweet spot for you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we say maintenance operations, spare parts and stuff like that. So yeah, we're really, really strong in a number of sectors.
So is there much crossover between the warehouse division and the rest of the Konecranes stuff?
Oh, absolutely. So one of the first key steps when I came to Pause was to set up a specific collaboration piece between the crane business and the warehouse automation business, particularly because the crane band is so strong and they've got customer relationships of 50, 20 years long, massive, heavily trusted partner. It made a lot of sense for us to tap to that credibility. I mean, and use the leverage and the partnership that we've got to introduce the Agilon. And the way that we said as well is putting the Agilon in as well is just another string to the bow. And obviously, if you see the way the unit is branded with the Konecranes branded, it just reinforces obviously the branding and the partnership marketing tool for us. And obviously, and then hopefully, sometimes getting the Agilon in, we'll have some spin-off effects back to the crane business that us putting one in, they'll get some benefit back from it as well.
Right, there's a certain type of customer that has a need for both crane products.
We've got a number of customers who have taken products from all different sectors of the Konecranes brand. So the core crane business, Agilon, and then obviously some other stuff as well. That's kind of our blueprint model and stuff like that. So we've specifically done a lot of work with the crane business to try and, obviously strengthen their partnership.
So Stephen, what are your customers coming to you for? What are they looking for? They want greater visibility of stock? Do they want to maximize the cube of their storage space? What is it, all of those?
So the customers come to us with multiple objectives, really. So space saving, critical. Typically, we see the manual racking operation, obviously taking up significant space of the thing. We'll manage to condense that right down, obviously give them a space share. As you said, traceability, massive key component. Typically, if an operator on a manual picking operation goes to the warehouse, is reliant to sign it in and out through pen and paper, there's always issues with this. It's not completed correctly. With the Agilon, it's all done electronically and automatically by computer, and you can't argue with the balance, obviously, in the system. Should say, well, in cost saving as well, or inventory going missing, which is a big thing as well. So, yeah.
So can you just describe how that enhances security?
Yeah, so basically, when you access the system, it's through an electronic access portal. So in order to get into the system, everybody needs a unique ID, whether this be fingerprint access or whether PIN code. So once you've then gone into the system, your electronic fingerprint, so to say, is all over the transaction. So if you request box XYZ and it comes down, and obviously you're recorded to take one out of the balance, and then obviously the number in the system doesn't align with what is recorded, then obviously the gap is then on us as well. So you can't really get around it, to be fair. So again, developing this away from the system was what I like to call a super user portal, for like supervisors, management and stuff like that. So you control and configure the system with access rights, so you can access particular stuff and whatever. So yeah, they've got full visibility.
And what sort of ROI can you offer? I guess there's not a single simple answer to that.
No, so as part of the sales process, obviously when we're asking people to commit and switch to automation, we've got a really developed analysis tool that obviously calculates the return on investment. So we have a pre-populated template with some key core fields of information that we need to receive back. We send this to the customer and return it. Then we punch and feed all that data into our calculation tool, which is stratified across multiple areas of efficiencies. And then we'll give them the payback time. But typically, we see the sweet spot between 1.5 and 2 years. So for us, it's pretty reliable, obviously, investment. Yeah.
What are your the growth ambitions for the product? Where do you see the market growing for you?
So the product's been in existence for, I think, maybe 15 years now. To be fair, the previous people who've been in the role have actually done some fantastic work. We've got some big blue chip clients, and probably more crucially, we've got some real strategic partners. So my job now is to try and achieve, obviously, growth within those existing customers, bring on board new blue chip clients, and then achieve growth within the existing partners, but then also bring on new partners. So for me, there's multiple avenues for growth now. And I think, obviously, exposure at the IMHX, talking to the people here, obviously will help us facilitate that. So yeah, for me, I think the crucial element is, obviously, you can send a customer information on a PowerPoint slide, and you can send them a paper dossier and stuff like that. But that doesn't translate the true functionality and the real sophistication of the unit. So having it in situ, and people need to touch and feel it and obviously access it, watch it moving and stuff like that, it builds a whole different dimension and crystallizes it in the mind. So I think that will develop, obviously, a lot and really help facilitate sales. So for me, that's what I said, because of the ubiquitous nature, obviously, of the product, that were viable for all industry sectors, I think we can achieve some, real healthy and sustainable growth is key as well. Like, you don't want to be the business that has one flash in the pan year, do you, and then fall off a cliff. So the crucial, and because I'm from a strategic background, so I think the crucial element is its continued growth, sustainable growth, establishing real tangible partnerships that will continue to deliver again and again and again. So that's our mission, to build a real platform base that obviously that continues to grow solid.
Well, Stephen, as we reach the end of this edition of Logistics Business Conversations, just want to ask you maybe a final question. You're working in a very competitive sector. You know, there's a lot of products out there that that work very well. What would you say to a customer who's looking around for a supplier to persuade them to come to Konecranes?
There are similar products in our space, but I think that's the crucial word, the similar. They're not the same, as I said. So for me, the additional layers of functionality that we've talked about, the traceability, the access control, the inventory control, the super user portal, the picking functions, the ancillary connection facilities now really sets us apart. I can genuinely say, as a salesman, that we probably are unique. You know, and every salesman will try and tell you that one. We're unique, we're better than the rest, we do this, we do that. When the maybe 1% differentiation, but for us, compared to comparable products in inverted commas, I'd say that we are truly different. And for us, the additional functionality that we offer is really, really satisfies the true pain points for the customers. So we'll plug into their need, and they can see the difference. So being down the road, they can offer this, but that little bit of extra sophistication or electronic nature or traceability, that's exactly what I need. So that's the little bit that's going to tip them, that's obviously going to tip over the line in our favour.
Stephen, thank you for putting forward such a compelling argument in favour of Agilon. It's been a great pleasure chatting with you today. And thanks for joining us. And I want to thank you also, the listener, for joining us today. Wherever you get your podcasts from, please subscribe to Logistics Business Conversations to make sure the next edition is delivered straight to you as soon as it's released. Until then, it's goodbye from Stephen Grundy.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me, Peter MacLeod. Goodbye.